Wind that whispers through the willow trees, sun that sustains us, water that washes over willing earth and weathered stones, a smile shared and savored, a child's squeal of delight as she dances in the daisies and daffodils, the quiet joy of gathered community. This is the spirit of life and love that we call forth now into this gathering. May this spirit infuse our hearts, fill our souls, and carry us forward like a wave on the ocean as we enter now into sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together.
So long since I've been here. Memories point past that sycamore tree. Make a left where the miller's red barn used to be. The gravel gently gives beneath my wheels, and I remember how it feels. Tractor rests among the cedar trees. A pause between the past and what's to be. 10,000 houses don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. Generations grow old. A silent statue stands to times long ago, and they say you can't go home again. I know what they mean, for I still see those fields of green. A rusted tractor rests among the cedar trees. Between the past and what's to be. 10,000 houses don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. Castles grow instead of acres of grain, and I wonder if those kids will know where food comes from, and if someday they'll ask where we have gone. A rusted tractor rests among the cedar trees. A pause between the past and what's to be. 10,000 don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. This was a different place.
Our Soul Matters theme for the month of October is letting go. This theme has special meaning for me as I will be leaving this church in Colorado shortly after the first of the year, and I must get comfortable with letting go. I was okay until you sang that song. Life is calling us to let go and leap into something entirely new. Like a skipping stone, I've moved from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to Chicago, to Illinois State University in Normal, Illinois, and to Northern Virginia for 30 years, and to Colorado, and now I'm moving to Washington State. Sometimes I wonder how I will ever let go of this congregation, my beloved community. This church has been a major part of my life for the past 18 years. I've made most of my friends here. I've been blessed with having the opportunity to work on almost every team we've ever had here, and more activities than I can ever remember, and it has enriched my life. How will I ever let go of the beauty I see each time I leave the house, swinging around the corner to be confronted with the awesome expanse of beauty of the Front Range before me? I will miss this state and all of those drives over the mountains and all of the hikes that I took. How will I keep up a positive front while downsizing our cherished retirement home and gardens? It is not done flippantly. Acceptance of change while we are becoming physically and mentally less flexible is a mighty undertaking, much like a child's first steps, letting go of her parents' steadying hands. Letting go is an act of faith, but I must let it all go and find the place of rest and peace. What will be my next new story? So I would like to read a little poem about letting go by Diana Folds. Let go of the way you thought life would unfold, the holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let it go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you received it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against the invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let it go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams and expectations and destinations. Let it all go. Find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. And now I light this chalice for all that we have to let go of.
We gather here in the spirit of the hour. Spirit, draw near. We know that we are the direct descendants of millions who have gone before us over thousands of years. That experience covers traditions that are far too greater than we can count, that we can name. Ancient dreams filled with wisdom and with hope, fed by experience, they bring us here now. Spirit of compassion, we bring to this gathered community our joys and our sorrows, some which we bring to our hearts at this very moment. May this gathering empower us to boldly move forward in assurance, the assurance of those ancient dreams, the ancient wisdom, ancient experience, ancient hope, that we may carry this light to each other, to those around us, to all of those who follow us, from the past to the present to the future. We are. May it be so. Alleluia.
I'm delighted to be here with you this morning. I come to you from a long way away. My life is blessed with being amongst many wonderful people of many wonderful traditions in many wonderful places. And I can't think of any place that I would rather be here than right here with you this morning. I come to you from a humble Unitarian church in Leesburg, Virginia, that was built by freed slaves in the 1890s, and by our in the head of the sanctuary is a painting that one of our members did of the families working at night after they'd been working in the fields all day building this building. It was an AME church for almost 100 years, and when the Unitarians bought it, our big improvement was to add running water. We can respect traditions, but we can still have running water. I am here today with a specific mission in mind. I would like for you to be able to leave here this morning with a deeper appreciation for parts of yourself that you may not have always had such a fond relationship with. I am a firm believer in the fact that we human beings are multifaceted. But there are definitely facets of ourselves that we much prefer to share than others. We hold ourselves up and say, this is me, this is what I do, this is what I believe. And in our closet, tucked away in the dark, musty corners, are the skeletons and the bones of the things that we're not so proud of. Today, I want to kindle a little spark of love, affection, and appreciation for those bones. They are just as important to who we are as the things that we love to share about ourselves. Now, being a UU means that I am on a journey towards enlightenment and far from the destination. Which means that rather than be able to embrace my own flaws, I'm still blaming others for them. In particular, the fact that I'm aging and maturing at dramatically different rates. I'd like to really own that, but unfortunately, I can't seem to stop hanging some of that on my DNA. And in particular, my grandfather, who I am named after. My granddad was the son of a cantankerous Scotsman, which meant that he learned all of that stuff close to home, and he was still pretty good at it. My grandfather would, because he didn't really like the idea of having to pay as much money as it would cost to fill the tank in his car, got himself a moped. And Grandpa would ride his moped to get everywhere around the streets of his native Bristol, Connecticut. And occasionally the sidewalks after his vision had deteriorated past the point where he should be driving anything. The fact that he was a cantankerous Scotsman meant that it was your fault if you happened to be on the sidewalk when he came cruising along. Now, thanks to all the miracles of Ancestry.com, I realize now that I owe my mother's family, the Irish part of my family, a deep debt of gratitude for the fact that this is an optimistic song. It is when, and not if, I grow up. When I grow up, I want to be an old man, retire to the back roads, live closer to the land, sit out on my front porch and wave a friendly hand when they stop to ask directions. Make sure they understand when youth's used up and my motor's slowing down. I will let the grass grow longer, take my time in town, and like my father's father, I will tinker with my hands. When I grow up, I'll be an old man. Hey, I can dream, can I? Set out to go did before. When youth's used up and my motor's slowing down, I will let the grass grow longer, take my time in town, and like my father's father, I will take her with my hands. When I grow up, I'll be an old man. Though I am still burdened with impatience of youth, always moving toward the fast lane, always searching for the truth, I aspire to the day I turn to the act of letting go of everything that I must learn, to everything I know. When they say my eyesight's failing and my hearing's none too good, I guess I have them where I want them, guessing what I've understood. I'll be bouncing grandchildren on bony bended knee and sit and talk for hours without saying anything. When youth's used up and my motor's slowing down, I will let the grass grow longer, take my time in town, and like my father's father, I will take her with my hands. When I grow up, I'll be an old man. When I grow up, I'll be an old man. We are so busy. This, my Unitarian friends, is the church of the chronically overcommitted. We get caught up in things that matter to us. We get caught up in things that don't matter to us. And before we know it, weeks have gone by and we've been through it at a blur of the daily ritual of getting off to work, getting back home, all of the things that we have to do, and then we turn on some device and like skeet coming out of a shotgun range, we're getting blasted with things coming from all over that are demanding our attention, and we let it happen and we forget that that's not how we roll all the time. It is really easy for us to get vexed by things, and we find ourselves shaped by so much of that outside frenzy. One of the things that I think about my closet every now and then is I might like to just stick my head in there and slow down for a minute. Here in this incredibly magical, majestic, beautiful place, you have constant reminder about moments out of time. I offer you this humble one now. There be another Ansel Adams, American original, sculptor of shadow and light. Will another have the patience to await the perfect moment when the elements and angles are just right? No hero, cursed with pride and foible, but like any Einstein you find, take everything you can. Seraphim of film and format, a wizard of the lens, freezing magic in a frame of stone and sand. In a range of light, a gentleman reveals his heart, showed us treasures gone in plain sight hidden, and in a sacred setting, shutter clicking on the wind, let us see like Ansel Adams did. setting, shutter clicking on the wind. Let us see like ants and atoms did. Chases shadows. I've been known to talk to ghosts, and I strain to hear echoes of the past. His reflections in still waters, spires soar into the sky, all remind me that this heartbreak will not last. In a range of light, a gentleman revealed his heart, showed us treasures God in plain sight hid. And in a sacred setting, shutter clicking on the wind. Let us see like Ansel Adams did. Will there be another American original, sculptor of shadow and light? When we take a real honest accounting of ourselves and we look, we open that closet, shine a light in it, and sift through those bones, those things that we've been embarrassed or ashamed or just reluctant about. The question that I always find myself asking, how many of them come from fear? How many of these things were something that happened because of some deep-rooted fear? Life is scary. I mean, I've driven I-25. I know. It's kind of crazy out there. It's a crazy world. And perhaps it seems more crazy to us because more crazy things come flying into the palm of our hand now than we ever could have imagined before, you know? You could read a newspaper or watch the 6 o'clock news and be done with it. Nowadays, it's like beeping at us all day long. That's kind of a state of high anxiety, don't you think? And perhaps of all of the things that we fear in this life, maybe the thing that crushes us most of all, the thing that we can't hide from, is loss. When I have experienced it, in fact, when I came to be at Wolf back in 2002, was right after experiencing my first close, heavy loss as a quote-unquote grown-up. I came there a bit broken, and I found myself healing in the red rock country of the great American Southwest. Whatever it is about canyon country, sometimes maybe I'm just guilty of overthinking it. Maybe it's as simple as the starkness. Red stone, blue sky. Simple. Perhaps the fact that there's no place to hide from oneself in the desert. Whatever it is, those times when I have found myself there broken and in need of healing, I've come away renewed in the belief that each and every one of us is an endangered species well worth saving. door soars on outstretched wing. From that altitude, I bet you'd see a lot of funny things, like red rock glow 'neath desert skies. I hope way up there's a place where our souls collide. Gravity, it holds me down, keeps my orbit safe and low enough to ease the blow when I hit the ground, while angels glance and prophets laugh at this flightless rustic poet stumbling blindly down the path. In the blinking eye where dreams take flight, it's deafening in the quiet under these restless stars so bright. And if I wish on their falling light, I wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. Whooping crane, his joyful dance, and he's so unaware of all the perils of his new romance. With one wing high, one leg kicks, has 10,000 fathers before guide his way through. It's deafening in the quiet under these restless stars so bright. And if I wish on their falling light, I wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. Oh, I wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. I leave you with a thought. Why do we do what we do? Why do we, who sign up for committees, volunteer for various good causes, why do we do what we do? I have a theory that those bones in that closet play a far more important role in what we do today than we might give them credit for. It is easy to ignore them. It is easy to say, that was me then. That was a part of my past. But the truth is, those bones are an important fuel for what we are today and what we want to be, what we want to achieve, what we want to reach for, how we want our story to go. We do a lot of things, I want to give you a deeper appreciation for little things today. My grandmother used to, probably with some nod to my survival, I was an only child until I was 10, and I drove my parents pretty crazy on summer vacation. They were both school teachers, and I think my grandparents intervened to give them a much-needed break from this precocious child. And so I'd go and spend a week with my grandparents. And my grandmother would pile me in the car in the morning, and away we would go, and we'd spend the day volunteering, doing this and that, to the hospital where she retired as the head of nursing, to church, to the DAR, the Historical Society, whatever. And I remember asking her one day, I was probably about my daughter's age now, about 8. I said, "Grandma, I don't get it. I want you to explain to me the re part of tired. I'm just tired. We've been chugging along all day. We've not played one round of mini golf, and I'm beat. Now, you're not even getting paid for any of these things. What's the deal?" Now, it's to my grandmother's credit that I never remember her ever saying a cross word to me. I can only imagine the thought balloons that must have popped up in her head. But she said to me, you know, these are all little things. What does it hurt me to go and sit and talk to somebody in the hospital for 10 minutes or to bake a pie? I like to do those things. But imagine what it would be like if a whole lot of people did those little things. Imagine what it would add up to. And I think what she was trying to convince this little logical-minded, analytical kid who would grow up to be an engineer is that human beings are indeed more than a perfectly arithmetic species. That indeed we are capable of adding up to more than the sum of our parts. And those bones are an important part of our parts. My grandmother wanted me to do the little things, I suppose, just because they were the right things to do. But maybe the most important thing was to never lose faith that the good things always, always matter. Rush hour traffic going nowhere. The merge becomes a contact sport. Frustration boiling over, and tempers growing short. The suited man bucks the trend at the toll booth and lets the grandmother in. He knows the people that we share the road with have loved ones waiting just like him. Good things matter long after they're done. Good things matter each and every one. Good things matter no matter how small. Good things matter to us all. Goodness, there I go again. It was not my out loud voice that invited you to sing, apparently. It's Sunday morning. We're supposed to make a joyful noise, right? So a little bit of instruction would help. Good things matter. Good things matter. You sopranos can go. Good things matter. Equal time for basses now. Good things matter. Yeah, okay, that works for me. In fact, I don't even care which notes you sing because I can't really hear you all that well anyway, but it would make me feel better to know that you were participating after all, making a joyful noise. Stay tuned, coming right back. Tear Street boy behind that playground fence, with jeans picked, aim in full swing. His braces hold him back from what his glasses show. He is not good at this thing, but the bigger boy who plays the game with natural skill and grace says, here's my back, take my place. He knows about more than once across the lake. Get ready, y'all. By the pinch hitter smiling face. Good things long after they're done. Good things each and every one. Good things no matter how small. Good things matter to us all. Oh. strangers on the street. Share the table where you eat. Leave the extra change behind. Fight fear, be colorblind. Kind words to chase the gray. When things are hard, find a way. It all comes back someday. Good things long after they're done. Each and every one. Good things, no matter how small. Good things matter to us. Good things matter. Three more, nice and loud, just like that. Good things matter. Good things matter. Good things matter. Thank you so very much for having me.
To live in this world, you must be able to do three things. To love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it. And when the time comes to let it go, let it go. Amen. Now join me in our closing affirmation. Nurtured by this community,
inspired by all that we share, may our actions carry this love forward into our lives and into the world every day.
Go in peace.